Joining us now to discuss this, former National Security Advisor and UN Ambassador John Bolton. Good to see you, John. Great to have you, Ambassador.
Glad to be with you.
Let's talk about the testimony today. Obviously, John Durham highlighting his 300-page report, findings that the FBI never had any evidence of collusion between Russia and the Trump campaign, should have never started the investigation. Now, we know because of this, there are many calls for reform at the FBI, reform also for the FISA warrants. And we even heard Director Wray testifying in March that he believes that there is conduct I consider totally unacceptable when he heard about what the special counsel Durham had reported. In your opinion, what do you think needs to happen at the FBI to restore trust with Americans?
Well, I think we have to identify exactly what the problem is. I've dealt with the FBI a lot in the course of my career, including my time at the Justice Department in the Reagan administration as an assistant attorney general. And I have seen senior officials of the FBI who think they walk on water, who think their morality is higher than others. I've seen that same attitude in U.S. attorneys. And I think we've seen it in some recent investigations. And that kind of attitude is a severe problem and can lead to bias. On the other hand, I would say that the average FBI special agent, the men and women who are out there on the bricks every day, are among the most patriotic Americans we have. These are solid citizens, and the idea that you can characterize the entire FBI as weaponized by anybody is a mistake and an insult to the character of most agents. I think, therefore, the reform that's necessary, and as I say, I've seen this abuse personally, is to go after the people who don't follow the procedures the FBI has. It's not to condemn the entire Bureau. It's not to condemn the entire Department of Justice. It's to find the problems and remove them.
And do you think that would constitute firing Director Wray?
No, I do not. I think Wray has tried to do a good job. I think he's in a very difficult position. But I think it's always helpful when you make complaints about a bureaucracy, and there are plenty of complaints you can make about the federal bureaucracy, that you understand exactly what you're going after.
Let's play a little bit from Jerry Nadler, because he did bring up President Trump.
The investigation failed in its political objectives, but did real damage to a department that is still recovering from the excesses of the Trump administration. And despite Mr. Durham's best efforts, a reckoning is well underway. Do not be misled. Former President Donald Trump is not a victim. He did this to himself.
You know, Ambassador, some of that is very much in a line with comments you have made regarding Trump and the classified documents indictment. We do know a judge, Elaine Cannon, has set now August 14th as a date. There's no signs he will be leaving the race. Again, as all Americans, he is innocent until proven guilty here. But when you see what is happening and, you see him continue to go on, and what is your take on where this leads us with the race for 2024?
Well, I think the most important thing that could happen, if it were possible, would be to ask every American to read the indictment against Trump, read all 40-plus pages. If I or any other executive branch official were charged with the things that he has done in there, I think we'd probably be in jail already. Now, look, he is entitled to the presumption of innocence. He is entitled to all due process at trial, and the prosecution has to prove those allegations beyond a reasonable doubt. That's a very heavy burden. And I think the best thing we could hope for from the judge is to carry through and hold a speedy trial. I think if you ask where is the public interest here, it's in getting an answer from the 12 jurors, one way or the other. Do they convict Trump or do they not? And I believe a truly innocent person would say, I want this stain on my reputation represented by this indictment removed as soon as we can. Let's have a trial before the end of this year. Let's get it done. I'm innocent. I want to prove it. We'll see how President Trump responds.
Speaking of what you just said, if any other American, we would be charged. In turn, your reaction to Hunter Biden's plea deal, well, many say if we had been facing similar charges, we would not just be having misdemeanors. We would not be skipping out on what could have been a felony gun prosecution. Instead, it is now wrapped under this plea deal by David Weiss. Do you feel that there has been a misguided two-tier justice when it comes to the president's son here in this plea deal that was announced yesterday?
I have to say I had no idea. I've never taken cocaine. I've never purchased a gun while I was using cocaine. I have no idea how that gets charged in the criminal justice system. I've never engaged in activity that's led to tax charges against me. I haven't practiced that kind of law. Thank God. It's a pretty seedy business, it looks like. So whether this is a sweetheart deal or not, I've heard lawyers on both sides of it. I'm a lawyer. I've been a lawyer for many years. I don't think I'm competent to judge.
All right, we'll leave that aside. I want to spend some time talking about China and India. Obviously, the Prime Minister visit this week is historic, the first state visit, full diplomatic status. And you say that this is an opportunity for Biden when it comes to India. What would you like to see happen as we talk to Narendra Modi, as it is, obviously huge economy, also, when it comes to China and our relations there, is there an opportunity here for the U.S.?
Well, the relationship between the United States and India, I think in the rest of this century really is going to be critical to whether we are able to withstand the real belligerence at the heart of much of China's foreign policy. I think it's significant that India, along with Japan, Australia, and the United States, has formed the Quad, as they call it, to discuss security matters. But I think we need to see a lot more progress from India. They're the ones that have a common border with China. They're the ones that have seen cross-border raids. They're the ones that are most directly threatened by China's nuclear weapons capability and China's close relations with Pakistan, with which India has had repeated conflicts since the British partition at the end of the imperial era there. The Indians have a lot at stake, so do we. So there are complicated issues on both sides. Certainly trade is going to be an issue. But as the saying goes for India, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. They've got to make a decision. Do they want to continue as a close friend of Russia? Do they think they can handle China on their own? Or do they want to join with others in the Indo-Pacific to prevent the kind of threat we today see against Taiwan and in the South China Sea?
Finally, just a moment here before we let you go. I'd love to know where you are with your thoughts on a possible presidential run for 2024. Have you decided yes or no? And if so, would you share it with us here, Ambassador?
No, I haven't decided yet. I am still considering. I think it's advantageous at the moment to be a potential entrant into the race because I think there's a lot to discuss. I think it's very important that the Republican Party move beyond Donald Trump. History is going to take us beyond Trump one way or the other. If we make him our nominee, we will lose the 2024 election. We could lose both houses of Congress. We could lose control of the Supreme Court if a Democrat is elected and fills any vacancies that occur. The stakes are too high here. We don't need Trump's baggage, and I want to see if other contenders for the nomination make that point effectively. And I also want to see that they raise national security issues to the level they should be in this campaign.
Still debating. Well, you're welcome to come back anytime you've made that decision, Ambassador Bolton. How's that?
Thank you for the invitation.
All right. Thank you, sir.